Do stay on with us. We'll just come back to you with more updates on Gyan Vapi. However, big breaking news which is coming in. This one is from Hyderabad. Instant justice formula has been shut down by the courts. This regarding the Hyderabad fake encounter case. The panel which was set up by the court to look into the entire encounter where 4 rape and murder accused were killed in an alleged police encounter. We got you live inputs of that as well at the time. And now the Supreme Court panel has said 10 cops must be tried for murder. There were 10 policemen who the Supreme Court Commission thinks prima facie must face trial because of the overwhelming evidence which was recovered. Interesting to see the kind of observations which were made by the court, by the panel in the court. In fact, let me go across to Harish Nair, our legal editor, for the details. Harish, tell us, what exactly were the scathing comments coming out from the commission when they said 10 of these policemen must be tried for murder?
Yes, so that's right. A very big recommendation. Supreme Court panel has recommended all 10 cops involved in the 2019 Hyderabad encounter, now which has been declared fake, that all of them be booked for murder. Remember, all this, the court had this panel has observed that these names are of one V. Surinder, Narasimha Reddy, Sheikh Mother, and four others, and the court has observed that. Panel has observed that all these stories were not believable.
Well, it seems that we've lost our audio connection. Let me go across to Madhav Das Gopalakrishnan, our senior editor, also joining us. Madhav, I believe the family wanted the judicial panel report to be made public as well, something that the government has been resisting. Why? Because there is a larger conspiracy of cover-up that the family has alleged over the years.
Well, of course, and that's quite obvious, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, the state police there and any action or any misdemeanor on part of the state police would reflect very poorly on part of the state government. And that's why perhaps the government was resisting these reports. But some very, very scathing observations that are now part of this report. The families, of course, have been requesting that this report comes out in public. And this particular report has directed that action be taken, cases of murder be in fact invoked against all the 10 police officials who were part of this alleged fake encounter, which the committee also finds absurd and unbelievable. The fact that this particular person snatched a pistol and tried to escape. It's not backed by evidence, and therefore it cannot be believed that the deceased suspects might have died due to indiscriminate firing from pistols allegedly snatched by them. It's also to be held that all the deceased suspects died due to the injuries caused by bullets fired by police party. It goes on further to say that it cannot also be believed that deceased suspects opened fire towards the police party. In our considered opinion, the accused were deliberately fired upon with an intent to cause their death, and with the knowledge that the firing would invariably result in the death of the deceased suspect. It is also, of course, these are further aspects that are spoken about. Action being sought for 2 cops against the murder. Sheikh Lal Madhar, Mohammad Sirajuddin and Kocharla Ravi are liable to be tried for the offence under Section 302 IPC. These officers
This is huge. Sorry to interrupt you, Madhav. Do stay on with us. We'll come back with more scathing criticisms coming in from the Supreme Court panel. But let me go across to Dr. Bikram Singh joining us, the former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. Dr. Singh, this is going to set a very strong and very significant precedent, isn't it, for the judicial process when it involves cases such as that of fake encounter?
May I submit with the greatest of respect to the majesty of the court, and especially the Supreme Court, whom I hold and all of us hold in the highest esteem. But the fact of the matter is that the police officers who have been charged with a fake encounter worked beyond the call of duty, and I have my own reservations. With due respects to the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court, I have my own reservations, and I certainly, all those and my sympathies are there with those who have been charged. And to that extent, I would say those who ran the extra mile and they put their neck outside for whom? For you and me.
Right. But Dr. Bikram Singh, if I can just quote from the committee's report, it says that the police version that accused snatched the pistol and tried to escape is completely unbelievable. It is not backed by evidence. It cannot be believed that the deceased suspects may have died due to indiscriminate firing from the pistols allegedly snatched by them, and it has to be held that all the deceased suspects died due to the injuries caused by the bullets fired by the police party. It cannot be believed that the deceased suspect opened fire towards the police party as the police have claimed. How would you like to react to that? Dr. Singh?
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
We in the police are not competent and we are unable to put our points across very clearly. It is not our strength to put our case. If we have not been able to put our case across, the world knows it, the whole Hyderabad knows it, that it was on the call of duty, and I have myself been privy to so many encounters, myself included, where such a situation has happened.
I request you to stay with us. In fact, Mr. Ujjwal Nikam is also joining us, Special Public Prosecutor. Mr. Nikam, you have Dr. Bikram Singh on one hand who's saying that he's got his sympathies with those who have been charged with murder, the policemen. How would you like to respond to him and the reasons behind the court's verdict?
See, now the Supreme Court had appointed a judicial commission to make an inquiry on two factors. Firstly, whether the killing of 4 persons justified or not, and whether there was an act of the police people so that they can be prosecuted for culpable homicide. Now, the Judicial Commission appointed by the Supreme Court has given the clear verdict that it's a case of manslaughter, that is a culpable homicide, murder. And secondly, the Supreme Court has also found certain circumstances wherein the Supreme Court Commission has created doubt as to how that the 4 convicts were taken away in the midnight and whether the firing was totally unjustified. Now, the police officers will be prosecuted. Police will require, the independent investigating agency will require to file the charge sheet, and they will be prosecuted.
Mr. Nikam, in this process, who really will be prosecuting? The policemen? Will it be a fair and free probe?
No, the police people who actually opened the fire, they will be prosecuted. Because I don't know, I have not seen that commission order. But the commission had recorded the evidence. There was an examination sheet, cross-examination was also there. And the Supreme Court Commission has given clear verdict that the people who had actually opened the fire and who had the criminal conspiracy. Because this is that the police officer acted on the instructions. See, that they will require to find out, and the investigating agency will require to find out and to book the culprits.
Mr. Ujjwal Nikam, again, there are many people who have backed these cops. They've been called heroes by many of them. And as we were just hearing, one of the topmost former DGs coming out and saying that these men, whom were they protecting? They were protecting people like you and me from people like this. 4 of them accused of rape and murder. Does it matter who the people who were killed were and what their antecedents are in a case?
See, I can understand the feelings of every common man that the people who have committed the heinous crime must be punished. But this is not the way to kill those 4 culprits. They must be sentenced according to the law, if at all the guilt is proved against them. But the law enforcing agency has no legal right to take the law in their hand. Now, the only limited question, therefore the Supreme Court has cautiously said that we have to appoint a commission to find out whether really this is a killing, unconstitutional killing of the 4 person or not, whether firing was justified or not, whether it was in the right of the private defense or not. All these questions were before the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has Commission has clearly said that no.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Ujjwal Nikam, for putting that into perspective. This, of course, going to mean that 10 policemen are now going to be tried for murder of these 4 men who were rape and murder accused. Thank you so much, Mr. Ujjwal Nikam, as well as Dr. Bikram Singh for joining us. But with that, some big breaking news.